morning and welcome to Earth Echoes with Amber Fields. Today I would like to do something a little bit different. As some of you know, I've become a student of Biofield Tuning, which is a healing modality that uses sound and frequency to help the nervous system. And I've been getting a lot of questions about that, and so I figured I would do a reading about it. And the reading is from this book titled Electric Body, Electric Health by Eileen Day McKusick. And she is the founder of this technique, developer of the technique. And the subtitle of the book is Using the Electromagnetism Within and Around You to Rewire, Recharge, and Raise Your Voltage. And I'd like to also give credit to one of my instructors, Jill, because she read from the preface of this book in our class, and I'm going to read an excerpt from the preface today as well, and that is titled, All the Light We Can and Cannot See. On the winter solstice in December of 2009, my son Quinn came to the dinner table and asked my husband and me if we knew that there was a fourth state of matter called plasma, the electrically charged gas that makes up as much as 99.9% of space, connecting stars, planets, and entire galaxies in vast webs of light. Up until that point, I had learned about only 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. How had I missed an entire state of matter, especially one that, as I would learn, was actually everywhere I looked? That simple question led me down a rabbit hole of discovery, consequently changing the course of my research, work, and entire cosmological view. At that time, I was 20 pounds overweight, broke, deep in debt, suffering with chronic back pain, miserable digestion, acne, an entire colony of plantar warts on my feet, and a stormy marriage, and juggling work, parenting, and being a full-time, first-time college student simultaneously. This theme of struggle on every front had remained entrenched since I first began my journey into health and human potential at age 18. And despite decades of reading great piles of self-help books and attending workshops and availing myself of many different forms of healing, I had yet to become fit, abundant, and content. Not even close. Discovering plasma opened up the door to a whole new world. A world of light and connection rather than the dark and disconnected, mechanical worldview I had been educated into. It also dovetailed perfectly and synchronistically with the questions I was studying at the time in my master's program and seeking to answer through academic and scientific channels. After spending the previous 15 years as a sound therapist and independent researcher exploring how the pure, coherent tones produced by tuning forks impacted human health and well-being, I had made many inexplicable observations that I was hoping a deep dive into the world of science would shine some light on. And shine it did. This sudden illumination of the fundamental electrical aspect of our bodies and our electrical connection to the world around us, which I will spell out in this book, revealed the big picture that I had been searching for. It connected the dots of all my previous explorations of sound and vibration, science and spirituality, health and human potential. Once I was able to take it all in, I realized that this recognition of the connected light in all things, from a scientific perspective, and not just a spiritual or religious one, was what I had been looking for all along. I had seen the light in a way that satisfied both my rational mind and my soul, and my seeking days were over. Shortly after, spending months learning everything I could about plasma, I actually turned it into an independent study for my master's degree, I began to teach the sound therapy method I had developed to my first groups of students. Back in 1996, I had introduced a set of tuning forks for healing into my then part-time massage therapy practice. Through curiosity and exploration, I somewhat accidentally discovered a unique therapeutic approach, now called Biofield Tuning, a simple, non-invasive, and efficient method that uses tuning forks on and around the body, effectively tuning out-of-tune bodies. Through the use of the coherent sound input of the tuning forks, I had stumbled upon an elegant way to release energetic blocks, thereby producing profound and powerful outcomes on the physical, mental, and emotional levels. After almost 15 years of using this method on clients and watching them grow lighter and brighter and healthier as a result of the work, with my new students, I finally had the opportunity to receive sessions myself. Almost instantly, my ailments began to heal from receiving tune-ups. The plantar warts were among the first to go. My frozen energy started to find its way back into circulation. My own inner voltage began to rise, and I slowly but surely began to solve all the problems I had been confounded by. Now that I had this new awareness, this new force of nature to use as a resource, things started shifting in a powerful way. It was as if my expanding inner light illuminated the world around me, allowing me to perceive solutions and make connections that I had previously been unable to notice. Those two seemingly disconnected events, discovering the electrical nature of life and beginning to train students in the sound healing method I'd been practicing for so many years, converged to cause a sea change in my life. Through the process of learning a new cosmological story of light and connection, and through receiving tunings from my new students, my perspective on health, life, and the universe as a whole widened to a degree that I never knew possible. I began recognizing other potentialities of thought, feeling, and action that I had previously not even considered, which led to new and effective outcomes rather than the same old circles I'd been stuck in. While I have made use of tuning forks and the practice of biofield tuning to get my energetic house in order, I don't want this to be one of those books that is a sales pitch for classes and tools and whatnot. What I have learned the most from this journey is how to use my own mind, which is to say, my own biofield, more clearly, more efficiently, and more healthfully. Your energy field is a map of your mind, and fundamentally, your mind is the most powerful tool you have. I will provide you with plenty of tips and practices to get your mind in better order, as well as to make your energy stronger, lighter, brighter, and more resilient. In turn, your body will follow. Essentially, I've unwittingly figured out a hack in the game of life that, when understood and applied, makes it far easier to boost your health, inner and outer wealth, and creative ability. It is two primary components: understanding electricity and working with our emotions. Our emotions and feelings are just electromagnetic waves that naturally pass through our beings like waves in the ocean. Unless, that is, we deny or suppress them, in which case they become frozen and stuck in our bodies and biomagnetic fields and create resistance and static that block the healthy flow of energy. We make our electric bodies stronger and more coherent, primarily through effective emotional management and other simple approaches. And in the pages that follow, I will go into depth in both of these topics. The information that I am going to share with you comes from both my own observations from my clinical practice, as well as my research into some exciting new fields of science. This information enabled me to level up in the game of life, and this book is an invitation for you to do the same. To build an intrinsic awareness of your own light, to focus on raising your voltage and brilliantly shining on the world around you, and to use the light of your own inner illumination to see new solutions to old problems for yourself and others. We do that by giving ourselves permission to recharge, to follow our ahs, to express our truth, and to have the courage to go with our guts. While I am a sound therapist and a researcher, I am more fundamentally a teacher. I have my master's degree in integrative education, which sounds rather vague, but is actually a very good description of what I do. I teach people how things connect. What I hear from my students all the time is that understanding themselves as electrical beings has helped them to connect the dots between what's going on in their lives and their health on every level. It enhances our awareness of how everything is connected and helps us to identify and target the root causes of our problems. One of my students said it was like finally peeling back the veil. The fundamental truth is that you are the light you are seeking. You are already enlightened, and as your biological reality is that you are a being of light, down to your DNA, your cells, and the trillions of biophotons that permeate your entire being. Even your bones, the densest part of your physical being, are piezoelectric crystalline structures that make electricity or light when they are compressed. And this light that powers you is the same light that powers the sun and the stars, the lightning and the lightning bugs, and the cosmos in its entirety. We are electromagnetic beings bathed in an electrically connected reality. This is what we will discuss in depth in this book as we shine light on a new understanding of reality that will change your perspective and change your life, just like it has changed my life and many others. Together, we are the way out of these seemingly dark times. You are vast. You contain multitudes. What has been obstructing that knowing and being is just a story. Distorted waves in space that can be tuned back to their underlying harmonious perfection. Beneath the noise in the signal and stories of victimhood and struggle, you are simply one with the unified field, the cosmos itself. You are the universe. And from that perspective, anything is possible. Thank you, Eileen. Very well written. And I stand here as a testament that Biofield Tuning can change your life. And I've experienced a lot of great changes in my life since I've been getting tuned and since becoming a student. And one of which has been quitting drinking and smoking, which has been far easier than I ever would have imagined. And I think that ease is partially because I know that I needed to eliminate those frequencies from my life, aiming to be healthy with my frequencies and only allowing healthy frequencies in is such a great motivator for quitting drinking and smoking. So people have commented on how it's a little bit strange how easy that has been for me. And like I said in a different video, it's because it's about more than just not taking a drink or having a smoke. If it were simply that, I think I would be struggling a lot more with sobriety. But because I realize that I am like upgrading my frequency and returning to a more coherent frequency, that's just been the most powerful motivator. So anyways, I'm sure I will be talking about biofield tuning again in some of these recordings, and I hope that that has shed a little bit more light on what it is all about. Thank you.